Imagine this, you're sitting on the couch after a long day, the TV's glowing, maybe a big game is about to kick off, and suddenly that craving hits. Not for something ordinary, but for that unmistakable triangle of crunchy goodness that's been satisfying snack lovers for decades. You reach into the bag and with the first bite, there's that perfect shatter of crunch followed by an explosion of flavor that makes you instantly reach for more. It's salty, it's bold, it's addictive. It's Doritos. This isn't just another chip. It's a cultural icon, a flavor-packed adventure that has been woven into game nights, parties, and late-night cravings across America. Whether it's nacho cheese dust on your fingers or the fiery kick of flamin' hot that makes you grab a drink between bites, Doritos has become more than a snack. It's an experience, a ritual, and in many ways, a piece of American pop culture. The story of Doritos isn't just about chips, it's about creativity, risk-taking, and a little bit of luck. Believe it or not, Doritos didn't start in a massive snack factory. Their journey began in a place many families know well, Disneyland. Back in the early 1960s, a man named Arch West who worked for Frito-Lay came across a problem. A local Mexican restaurant inside Disneyland was left with stale corn tortillas, and instead of tossing them out, Arch saw an opportunity. He had them cut into triangles, fried, and sprinkled with a dusting of Mexican-inspired seasoning. The result? A crispy, golden chip that park guests couldn't get enough of. They called them Golden Dust chips at the time, but what Arch had unknowingly created was the foundation of one of America's most beloved snacks. Frito-Lay knew they were onto something special. They bought the idea, gave it a playful new name, Doritos, derived from the Spanish word Doradito, meaning little golden thing, and launched them nationwide. At first, Doritos had a simple toasted corn flavor, but it wasn't until 1967, when the taco flavor hit shelves, that the brand really exploded. Suddenly, Doritos weren't just crunchy triangles. They were crunchy triangles loaded with bold, zesty flavor that stood out in a crowded snack aisle. And from there, the brand never looked back. Over the years, Doritos became the ultimate playground for adventurous eaters. Nacho cheese quickly became the king of flavors, followed by Cool Ranch, which had such a loyal fanbase that people stocked up just in case their local store ran out. Then came spicy nacho, salsa verde, sweet chili, and the infamous flamin' hot Doritos that deliver a burn you can feel in your chest after just a few handfuls. The lineup is constantly evolving with limited edition flavors that keep fans guessing. From cheeseburger to wasabi to even Mountain Dew-inspired Doritos, the brand has never been afraid to experiment and stir conversation. But Doritos didn't just build its empire on flavor alone. The marketing behind these chips is legendary. If you grew up in America, chances are you remember Doritos commercials from the Super Bowl. Year after year, they weren't just ads, they were events. Funny, bold, sometimes outrageous, and always unforgettable. Doritos leaned into its playful, rebellious spirit, positioning itself not just as a chip, but as a lifestyle. From the catchphrases to celebrity cameos, Doritos turned marketing into entertainment, helping it dominate not only snack aisles but also pop culture conversations. Of course, none of this magic would be possible without the science and precision that goes into making every bag of Doritos. Let's step behind the scenes and see what it actually takes to create those perfectly crisp, perfectly flavored triangles. It all begins with corn. But not just any corn. Doritos uses special varieties like dent corn, known for its high starch content, which gives the masa dough its signature texture. The kernels go through a deep cleaning process to remove any impurities before being soaked in water, a step that softens them and makes them easier to grind. Once ready, powerful grinding machines crush the kernels into a fine, smooth masa, the traditional dough at the heart of every tortilla. From there, the masa is rolled out into wide, thin sheets. Precision here is key because the thickness of the dough determines how crunchy the final chip will be. Too thick and it won't have that satisfying snap. Too thin and it'll break too easily. Once the dough reaches the perfect thickness, specialized cutters stamp out those iconic triangles. If you've ever wondered why every Dorito has such a consistent size and shape, it's because the machines are calibrated down to the millimeter. The triangles then head to the fryer, where they take a quick, sizzling bath in hot oil. This is where the magic of crunch is born. Each chip puffs slightly as moisture escapes, leaving behind that hollow, crispy structure that makes Doritos addictive. Once golden and perfectly fried, the chips move along conveyor belts straight to the seasoning drums. And this is the part everyone dreams about, the flavor dust. Giant tumbling barrels coat every triangle evenly with a bold mix of spices, cheeses, or chili powders depending on the flavor being made. It's here where Doritos transform from plain chips into flavor-packed icons. Imagine standing near one of these drums, the smell of nacho cheese or Cool Ranch filling the air, the sound of chips clattering together, and the sight of a literal waterfall of Doritos tumbling into bags. It's enough to make anyone want to dive headfirst into the production line. Of course, the process doesn't end there. Doritos go through strict quality checks to make sure every chip is perfect. Machines scan for broken or burnt chips, and any that don't make the cut are discarded. Only the best of the best get sealed into those colorful bags that line store shelves. Once bagged, Doritos are shipped across the country, ready to be devoured at movie nights, backyard barbecues, road trips, and college dorm parties. They've become such a staple in American life that it's hard to imagine a world without them. Think about it, how many memories do you have that involve a bag of Doritos sitting on the table? Maybe you grabbed them for a road trip snack, maybe you spilled them during a heated video game battle with friends, or maybe you had that one moment where you swore you'd just eat a few chips but ended up finishing the entire bag. And that's really what makes Doritos special. It's not just the corn, the frying, or even the flavors. It's the fact that Doritos have become a part of our lives in a way that few snacks ever have. They're comfort food, party food, guilty pleasure food, all rolled into one. They represent fun, spontaneity, and sometimes even rebellion. After all, who hasn't ignored dinner just to polish off a bag of Doritos at least once? Have you ever ripped open a bag of Doritos and wondered how those perfectly crisp, boldly seasoned triangles of joy actually come to life? That explosion of flavor you taste in every bite, the crunch, the spice, the irresistible punch, isn't just an accident. Behind every bag is an incredibly precise and fascinating process that transforms humble corn into one of America's most beloved snack foods. Today we're going behind the scenes to uncover the secrets of how Doritos are made, from sizzling fryers to the signature seasoning that keeps you reaching for just one more chip. By the end of this journey, you might never look at your favorite snack the same way again. The heart of Doritos production begins when the corn masa is shaped into those iconic triangles. Once the dough has been cut and partially baked, the chips are sent straight into one of the most critical stages of the entire process, frying. This step is where texture and taste truly come alive. Industrial fryers, enormous in scale, are filled with high-heat vegetable oils such as corn oil or canola oil, which are chosen because they can withstand extreme temperatures without burning. The chips glide carefully onto a massive conveyor belt that carries them into oil heated to around 176 degrees Celsius, or about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. At this temperature, the chips puff slightly, develop their crunch, and take on that signature golden hue. The frying time is monitored down to the second, because a few moments too long and the chips would burn, while a few seconds too short and they'd lack the satisfying snap that Doritos fans expect. Operators and automated systems work together to keep the balance just right. As soon as the chips emerge from the fryer, excess oil is drained away, leaving behind a base that is hot, crisp, and ready for the magic moment, seasoning. This is where Doritos transform from simple fried corn chips into the flavor-packed snack people obsess over. A proprietary blend of spices, flavorings, and other ingredients is prepared for each distinct Doritos variety. Whether it's the fiery kick of spicy sweet chili, the rich and tangy notes of Cool Ranch, or the unforgettable burst of nacho cheese, each recipe is a carefully guarded secret developed by flavor scientists and food technologists. There are two main methods used to apply these seasonings, and both are fascinating in their own way. In some facilities, the chips are tumbled through a rotating drum where a fine powder blend is dusted evenly across every surface. The chips tumble and vibrate against each other, ensuring full coverage without clumping. In other cases, liquid seasoning is sprayed through specialized nozzles and a fine mist, coating each chip while they move along the conveyor. This creates a slightly different mouthfeel and sometimes helps flavors stick more consistently. Imagine the precision required, millions of chips tumbling every day, each one expected to carry just the right amount of bold flavor in every bite. That consistency is what has made Doritos a cultural staple across the United States and far beyond. Once seasoned, the chips need to stabilize before packaging. This brings us to the cooling process, an often overlooked but essential step. Fresh from the fryer and flavor drums, Doritos are still carrying heat and trace amounts of surface oil. If packed too soon, they'd lose their crispness or risk condensation inside the bags. To prevent this, the chips travel along extended conveyor belts that run through cooling tunnels. These chambers are carefully ventilated, rapidly dropping the chips to a stable temperature. The oils solidify, locking the seasonings in place, and the chip's crunchy structure is preserved. All along this journey, quality control is never left to chance. Advanced imaging systems and trained inspectors monitor the chips for shape, size, color, and even seasoning distribution. Any chip that doesn't meet strict standards is removed, sometimes by human hands, but often by high-tech machines equipped with cameras and air jets that instantly blow out flawed pieces. Doritos has built its reputation on consistency, and it's no accident. Behind the curtain, teams work tirelessly to make sure the product in your bag looks and tastes just as good as the one in your friend's. Next comes the step consumers probably think about the most: packaging. Massive hoppers at the end of the production line collect cooled chips and funnel them into automated bagging machines. These machines are marvels of engineering, capable of measuring out exact portions at lightning speed. In just a few seconds, the chips are dropped into branded bags, which are then heat-sealed to trap in freshness and prevent breakage during shipping. The familiar Doritos triangle logo and bold flavor labels make each bag instantly recognizable on store shelves. It's not just packaging, it's marketing psychology at work, designed to make you crave that crunch before you even open the bag. But Doritos aren't just about taste, they're also a part of snack history. Believe it or not, these chips weren't born in some massive corporate facility. Instead, they were first created in Disneyland during the 1960s. At a Mexican restaurant inside the park, surplus tortillas were cut up, fried, and seasoned as a way to reduce waste. Guests loved the result, and the concept quickly caught the attention of Frito-Lay, which turned the idea into the worldwide snack phenomenon we know today. So the next time you open a bag of Doritos, remember, you're snacking on a piece of Disneyland history. Of course, in today's world, producing billions of chips a year also comes with responsibility. Doritos' parent company, PepsiCo, has been working on sustainability initiatives to reduce the environmental impact of both farming and manufacturing. Corn, the primary ingredient, is increasingly sourced from farms that practice sustainable agriculture, including crop rotation and reduced tillage, which help protect soil health. The company has also invested in reducing energy use at manufacturing facilities, upgrading equipment, and exploring renewable power sources to cut emissions. Packaging, too, has become a major focus. With millions of bags produced daily, PepsiCo is exploring recycled and even biodegradable materials that could one day make your Doritos bag more eco-friendly. While progress is ongoing, these steps show how even the snack food industry is being reshaped by the push toward sustainability. What makes Doritos stand out, though, isn't just the industrial scale of their production or their environmental goals, it's the cultural impact. Doritos have become part of American life, from Super Bowl parties to late-night study sessions. They're featured in memes, commercials, and even experimental recipes where home cooks crush them into breading for chicken or sprinkle them over casseroles. Each flavor drop, whether it's a limited edition collab with a fast food chain or a wild experiment like Flamin' Hot Cool Ranch, sparks buzz across social media. That connection between factory precision and cultural fun is what makes Doritos such an enduring icon. So, the next time you hear that satisfying rustle of a bag being opened, you'll know that behind each bite is a carefully orchestrated journey. Corn ground into masa, shaped into triangles, fried to perfection, seasoned with bold flavors, cooled for crispness, checked for quality, and packaged with precision. From Disneyland beginnings to global domination, Doritos have managed to balance nostalgia, innovation, and sheer deliciousness in every single crunch. And now it's your turn. Which flavor of Doritos keeps you coming back for more? Are you loyal to nacho cheese, or do you chase down every new release to see what's next? Drop your thoughts in the comments and share your Doritos story, because this snack isn't just food, it's a shared experience. If you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating factory secrets and the untold stories of how your favorite foods are made. The journey from raw ingredients to that irresistible crunch is one worth savoring, and we'll be bringing you more of it, one delicious product at a time.